All right, welcome back, everybody. This is season 4 of the IRS GT4 Championship. We're here for race 2 at the legendary Mount Panorama Bathurst race course. We're going to run you through our grid. In starting on pole, Timlor. Starting second, Harry Mop. Third, Iron Cobra. Iron Cobra missed race 1. He's here racing in the series for the first time, and so this is his first appearance. He's a very, very quick driver, consistent. So we're very glad to have him racing with us. Last week's winner, Turbo. Last week we were at Laguna Seca. Turbo here, R1600 Turbo, overcame some interesting circumstances early in the race and benefited greatly from a miscalculation on fuel by Timlor, but nevertheless, that doesn't take anything away from his victory, because it was still most impressive. Fifth, we have GTP Bambi. A very, very fast driver. Make no mistake, these top 5-6 drivers are very, very close in terms of their qualifying times. As a matter of fact, in a minute I'll let you know what the gaps are. Starting 6th, pro class driver Whitey 093. 7th, pro class driver Moby. And our first Pro-Am race fan in the Mercedes, his teammate Ace Boy, unable to make it this week. This race went down on Monday, Memorial Day, so you know, it's a pretty big day here in the States. People's starting to enjoy the nice weather and all that. So starting in 9th, Turbo's teammate Desert Penguin in the Pro-Am division. Starting 10th, Gentleman Racing, who's Moby's teammate in Gentleman Racers. Yes, and Desert Penguin's a member in Alliance Autosport. Race Fan's a part of one of the race teams as well. I can't think of the name of it right now. I gotta open up the thread to get that for you. And nevertheless, in 11th is a fast one. So that's your order. We'll give you a little rundown also, as we can here, as best we can, on the championship standings. It's early still. It's an 8-week championship, 8 races. There's 2 drop races, so anybody who can make 6 of the 8 races can make a go at the 2 different championships that we've got going, the Pro and the Pro-Am divisions. So you know, if you're thinking of maybe joining this league in the future, we will continue to run future seasons. You know, take that into consideration. 8 races, 6 out of 8 you make them, you got a shot at fighting for a title, or at least making a go of it. By all means, check us out on the GT Planet forums, gtplanet.net. Just look for the GT Sport area, and yeah, you'll be able to sign up. In the meantime, as we mentioned before, Turbo in the lead of the championship right now with 27 points. You may be wondering, first place gets 25, second gets 20, 18th, 18 points for third, 16 for fourth, and so on. But there's also bonus points for pole position and fast lap. Usually the pros nail that down. We don't do that in the Pro-Am class. So anyway, we're coming around down to the start of the event. So let's get ready. We run 1 formation lap and then the race count. So we're running 21 laps here today. 21 laps plus the formation. You can see everybody bringing it together. Try to make a nice clean start. Oh, and as I mentioned, the quali times for these top 4. Oh, and we're off. I'll get back to that in a bit. Following Timlor, keeps it tight inside, holds on to the lead. He's being oh, and Bambi has a little issue, gets out in the grass, but he's able to bring it back. Looks like they're 3 wide. Oh, no, they were 3 wide. Let's get back up with the leaders. Bambi gets back on track, no damage, no harm, no foul, other than the loss of about 5 positions, but we're sure he'll make them up. Very adept driver. We've got Timlor being chased by Harry Mop, being chased by Turbo, who's gained a position. Cobra back and forth. Whitey's moved up to 5th, benefiting from Bambi's bad luck. Got Moby, Race Fan, getting chased by Bambi. We're sure Bambi's going to make a move on him pretty quickly. Being a pro driver against a pro-am, it's no joke. But Race Fan's benefiting because having Bambi right behind him is allowing him to maintain that little bit of a gap back to the other pro-am driver in Desert Penguin. So really, Race Fan in a position to really benefit from this start here. Very nice. Gentleman Racing taking it easy back here with Fast One. We almost lost Fast One. There was some issues, maybe with connection. He was thinking about not running, but he stuck it out. We'd like to see that can-do attitude. We don't like to see people bail out. That's what drop races are for. But he stuck with us. That's good. All right. We got Gentleman Racing here. It looks like Bambi has made it by. He's now on the tail end of the pros. He's gonna set off after Moby 45. We've got Race Fan, the first Pro-Am, Desert Penguin, Gentleman Racing, and Fast One. We got a shortage of Pro-Am drivers, so if you're interested, sign up. As I mentioned, GT Planet forums. Look for weekly league races, and look for us, IRS GT4 Championship. Let's get up to the leaders. Timlor. Looks like he's opened up a little gap back to Harry Mop. Turbo, our championship leader, holding steady in 3rd. Why don't I get the some of the info to display for you. We like to keep an eye on the condition of the tires and their state of fuel consumption or fuel level, just to keep things interesting. Let's see if we can go on board with Turbo. I believe I mentioned it earlier. I may not have. This series here in its 4th season has not previously run here at Bathurst. So while I'm sure all these drivers are very familiar with the course, there's never been a IRS GT4 Championship race event here. So first time in the series. Start went off without a hitch, other than Bambi having a little off. No big deal, no harm, no foul. As you can see, he's running in 7th right now, so he's making up those positions. Got to keep pushing, you never know. See how far back Cobra, not too far back in 4th in the Mustang. Whitey getting chased by Gentleman Racers team driver, team leader, Moby 45 in the pro class. Making good use of that McLaren, pursuing that Jaguar. That beautiful Patron tequila livery. See where Bambi is. He's making good time. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Race Fans opened up a gap back to Penguin. Oh, and Penguin. Oh, it looks like he might have gotten into the wall on his way up to Skyline, and he's carrying some front end aero damage. Damages on heavy in this series. Oh, Gentleman Racing takes a look inside, but Desert Penguin covers it. Oh, and now he can run his line, because going up through Skyline, There's one lineup here, folks. You can see he's just managing that damage. He's got front suspension on the passenger side there, and aero. That's gonna hurt the big Russian. He is not Russian. That's an odd reference to a Saturday Night Live skit. Some of you may remember it. Anyway, or maybe not. Yeah, you can see he's struggling a little bit with the handling. Being on board with Gentleman Racing. Kind of sitting back, maybe expecting, well, maybe he just got a bad line through Skyline, but seems to be losing touch with Desert Penguin, who's carrying damage. Make no mistake, folks, that Hyundai is a good car. Very, very quick. Very capable in the right hands. As you can see, can we see fast one in the LCD screen? Yep, he's back there. So Gentleman Racing's got to do something here. He's got to figure out a way. Oh, gets a little squirrely coming out of the first portion of the chicane. He's got to figure out something to take advantage of the condition of Desert Penguin's car, because if he doesn't, he's our Pro-Am points leader, finishing really strong at Laguna Seca in 6th position. In fact, they had a couple of the pros who had issues during the course of the race at Laguna Seca, so yeah, he needs to get up there, otherwise he's going to lose that points advantage. What we'll try to do next week is put up an overlay giving you the points situation. We didn't want to do that this week, being that there's 2 drop races anyway, so you know, who knows what's going to happen as the season develops. But starting week 3, we'll try our best to get some decent production going on and throw an overlay on the screen for you. Man, Timlor really hustling that Lamborghini around the course. However, as we can see, Turbo's gotten up to 2nd place, gotten by Harry Mop, and he's run the fastest lap, a 2:11.497. Just a hair quicker than Timlor. Looks like Harry Mop's got some damage now as well. Oh, we didn't catch it. Gotta work on my production skills. Didn't catch it, but he's picked up some damage. Ferrari's quick though. He hasn't fallen into the clutches of the Iron Cobra yet. Sounds painful. Yeah, he hasn't fallen into the clutches of Iron Cobra yet, but you gotta wonder how much that damage is affecting it. Let's see what it looks like. Let's go on board with Iron Cobra and see if he's able to reel him in. Hopefully we can tell from these visuals. Looks like he might be closing the gap, but it looks more draft related than damage related. Yeah, folks, so damage is on heavy here. Tire wear is ×2, fuel consumption ×. Oh, and a little scrape on the wall for Harry Mop. You saw the sparks there. Yes, this is the thing. As a Pro-Am driver, when you're following somebody like that, you can get tunnel vision and kind of follow along their path. If they make a mistake, you're in it. But these are pro drivers. They're fully capable of doing what Cobra's doing here and keeping a safe distance and then pouncing. You should always do that with Cobras. Keep a safe distance, but do not pounce. Ooh, he might have caught a bit of the wall on the outside there that time. Harry Mop. You can see Turbo up ahead, and also Timlor. Oh, and here comes the draft. Ooh, and Harry Mop going defensive. Let's get a look at this. Oh, and he slides right through. Cobra does. Yeah, that damage is hurting. It's hurting Harry Mop. It's unfortunate, but you know, it's the nature of the series. It's way too early to pit as well. The series runs the fuel and the tires to where it essentially forces a one-stopper. Making any more stops than that, unless absolutely necessary, is not advised, since it puts you at a huge disadvantage, you know. Not you, but, you know, puts the driver at a huge disadvantage. Let's check the leaders. Timlor carrying a small penalty. Turbo hot on his tail. A 2:11.4 on the last lap and a 2:12 flat for Timlor on the last lap. And it looks like the battle between Whitey, Moby, and the resurgent Bambi is getting tight here. You can see that they're all pretty close on tire wear and fuel, so it's gonna make it interesting. And in case you're wondering about the status of the setups on these cars, this series is unique in that it runs a well, we run the standard BOP for race 1, and then based on finishing positions and performance, drivers have to endure being awarded additional weight, or ballast as it's called. So if you win in your division, you get an extra 3% weight added on, which for many of these cars is anywhere between 28 to 31 pounds per percentage point. So if you finish first and you get 3 percentage points added, it could be anywhere between 84 and 90 pounds. And, you know, listen, I was skeptical myself as to whether that made any difference at all, being that this is a game and how well could they have simulated that. But they did a decent job, and it is noticeable. You know, a talented driver, a fast driver like these pro guys, it isn't going to hurt them too much, but it's intended to kind of like keep the racing close. The maximum ballast drivers can accrue is 5% throughout the course of the season, and the only way to shed that weight is finishing off the podium in your class. So, you know, you lose 1 percentage point if you finish 4th the next race. And you know, could you conceivably get back down to 0 in terms of what ballast you're carrying as the season goes on? Yes, you could, but what we've seen so far is that the drop-off in performance isn't so massive as that it cripples the guys, you know? And pardon me for using that term. It doesn't make guys uncompetitive, but it does affect the car. So it's a nice balance. Race to race keeps things interesting. Anyway, enough about that stuff. Let's run through the field. We're about lap 8 here, almost halfway through. So Timlor, a 2:11.3, 2:11.4 is best for Turbo, but he's still keeping in touch. Alright, Cobra worked his way up to 3rd. Impressive. Whitey now up in 4th. 5th, Bambi. After that, going off into the grass at the start, he's staring at a potential podium spot. No, wait a minute. He may be looking at a 4th position. And We're on board with Moby in 6th, watching these guys go at it. Whitey defends, but the overspeed carries Bambi right through it. I don't think Whitey just laid over. I mean, he took the inside, which is what you want to do when you defend there. Moby's trying to find a way to get around Whitey here, get up into 5th. And Race Fan, our first Pro-Am up to 7th. Gentleman Racing up in 8th, somehow got by Desert Penguin. Looks like Desert Penguin hit the pits to repair that damage. Just got Gentleman Racing being pursued by Harry Mop, who pitted as well. Yeah, and there we see it. Desert Penguin just coming out of the pits at the start of lap 9 with a ton of fuel on. So he's going to be pushing. Tires will be exhausted by the end, but you know, he's got to make it work. He's trying to overcome that tap on the wall where he suffered the damage. Car's looking good, it's repaired. And he's got a tough road ahead to try to catch this guy. Your Pro-Am leader, who's just run away with the lead. Impressive. Gentleman Racing try to hold off Harry Mop. Terrible place to catch a Pro-Am driver for the... Harry Mop's trying to salvage his Pro Class race here to catch Gentleman Racing, who's not on that Pro pace. Through that section is costing him tons of time, and we'll see it on the screen. Harry Mop's times, he was in the 212s basically. Gentleman Racing, yeah, Gentleman Racing looks like he's doing the proper gentlemanly thing and yielding the position, gets back on the line to keep it nice and tight, and he's going to try to tuck in, try to grab some draft off of Harry Mop. You look at, nope, lifts, coasts through. He's not looking to make a move, but must have grabbed some of that draft on these straights here, help his lap out. What kind of times he run? 2:14.2 for him. A 2:12.9, so there you see the difference between Pro and Pro-Am. Nobody should be ashamed here. It is what it is, and that's why we have these divisions, so folks can get some acknowledgement for their efforts. You know, running a 45-minute race, competing for something is important. Some people will say, "Hey, trophy for everybody." That's not what it's about. They do this in the real world too, so. Yeah, Gentleman Racing is he's trying to stay away from Fast One and Desert Penguin here and lock in a second place finish in Pro-Am. All he's got to do is just keep it off the wall, have a nice pit stop, and chill. Let's see if he does it. He's gonna put the leaders. 6/10 penalty. Penalties are on week in this series, so you burn them off over time. Keeps things interesting, you know, and keeps things honest without the organizers having to watch entire replays of every driver and see whether they're honoring the track limits or not. Yeah. So right now you have your current points leader chasing Season 3 and Season 2 champion Timlor. It just, in watching Turbo this season, he seems very focused, seems intent to snag that championship, take that title. He's been very focused. He's had a mistake here and there, but man, he perseveres and he just pushes on and manages just to push it aside. And it's clear by his performance in race 1. Snagged the win, had pole, fastest lap, and he's looking to do it again here in week 2. Those 2 bonus points, they're huge because the outlay of points between first and seconds already has a 5-point gap, 25 for first versus 20 for second. So those are important in terms of how they have an impact on the championship. And look, drawing right in on Timlor. How they looking on is he gonna put a move on him? We gotta go TV cam. Terrible. Fastest lap, 2:11.2. Will he make the move? Oh no, he's content to stay in second. Take that draft and just look at this. Bumper to bumper. Phenomenal. Timlor goes defensive. Don't know that he necessarily needed to, because Turbo looks content to stay right behind him. See if he's short shifting. Is he short shifting, trying to save on fuel? Doesn't look like it in the early gears. Doesn't sound like it. Nah, he's trying to apply pressure. We got some cars pitting. Got 5th, 6th, 7th, Moby, Cobra, and Whitey. Cobra's already been in and out. Let's go back with the leaders. Neither one is pitted. They're still both pretty good on fuel. Timlor's a bit better in terms of the fuel. You'll see that in your lower left-hand corner. Some of the stuff's blocked out, but we leave the tire wear indicator and the fuel gauge visible for the viewer. Everything else gets blocked out with an overlay. We don't want to give away driver's secrets. The secret is they're fast. That's about it. That's all you need to know. Goes alongside, side by side here. Oh, too wide through the kink there. Timlor defends. Little lockup on both drivers. Will Timlor come in? And he does. Timlor comes in. Turbo stays out. Timlor had tons of fuel. Wonder why he decided to come in. Tires look good too. Well. Bambi also in. Cobra looks like he pitted already. May got it out ahead of Bambi. So Iron Cobra up to 3rd. We know he's a good driver. It's a nice performance in his first week in the series. As we mentioned earlier, shout out to Cobra. We're very glad to have him racing with us. Although Bambi's made a nice recovery, not far behind. See if he can make the push to go ahead. Harry Mop with a nice recovery as well after his suffering that damage. Looking good. Up in 5th. Moby and Whitey still going at it. Looks like they swapped positions. This will be going on all season. Let's go on board with Whitey. Oh! Oh no! And Moby looks like he may have tapped the wall, didn't take any damage though. Let's see if we can see a little scrape. That was enough to slow him down and allow Whitey by there. So Whitey gets by Moby by virtue of a little slight wall tap. And the race is just really flying by. Great event. You can see Harry mopping the Ferrari up ahead. Turbo looks like he's gonna take this first stint deep. His 13th lap here. Yeah, he's gonna have to come in at the end of this one. You can see his fuel gauge is getting low. Tires look good though. Tires look very good. In my experience, this car has not been good on tires, this Genesis, but doing a magnificent job, Turbo is, and keeping the tires under him. Still setting nice times. What kind of times does Timlor have? Yeah, I mean, we got the pit stop lap in there, and the subsequent lap. Oh, little wall. Catches a little bit of the wall. No damage, though, thankfully. Yeah, these two guys are going to be going at it. Hammer and tong, all race. Let's get back with Turbo. He's still about halfway through the course, so let's check on the rest of the field. Moby now in pursuit of Whitey here. Moby's got some evidence of front end scraping there. Car looks a little wily over the hills there. Yes. Oh, lost my connection. I don't know if you guys can see that, but doesn't matter. We're recording this, and we'll reconnect later to get it out to you. Not a problem. And Turbo in the pits. Timlor assumes the lead. Just waiting on the fuel. There goes Turbo. Just as Timlor turns onto the straight. Decent gap. Looks like he took a decent amount of fuel. Ooh. I don't know about Timlor's fuel situation. If you recall, last week Timlor made a fuel miscalculation, and it cost him the win. Could history be repeating itself here? Recent history? We'll have to keep an eye on that fuel. Meanwhile, Turbo is forging ahead in his pursuits. Got fresh tires on. Car's lighter. No, it's actually a little bit heavier. That Lamborghini's all-wheel drive though, so it's probably a wash. Cobra, all alone. Just as the big serpent likes it. Doesn't want to be bothered. Just running his race. if Timlor indeed has fuel problems, Cobra may be able to benefit from that. Just slither on through, pick up a position. And Bambi, you know, it's going to be a race of what could have been had he not dropped back down to, I think it was 9th, right at the start of the race. He'd be up there, at the very least be up there with Cobra for a podium. Sort of the same for Harry Mop. Took damage, had to pit early. You know. And then with Suzuka coming up next week, it's going to be interesting. So these guys, 4th, 5th, and so on in Pro-Am, in Pro, they're not going to pick up any ballast for next week. It's going to make things really interesting. Really, this is the first season where we've had some really good drivers on at least a similar level. 5 to 6 cars deep in that regard. And I mentioned it earlier, I've neglected to get back to it, about the qualifying times. Turbo took pole, but it looks like we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the top 4 drivers, qualifiers, were within half a second. So it was tight to start with. We got Turbo's carrying a full 3% from his race win in race 1 at Laguna Seca. Timlor's carrying an additional 2%. He finished 2nd, and I believe Bambi may be carrying 1%. So you're gonna have Harry Mop, Whitey, Moby with no ballast whatsoever next week, and you're gonna have, if it finishes this way, Timlor, Turbo, and Cobra. The first 2 will probably be maxed out with the 5%, and Cobra with carrying a little bit. It'll be very interesting at Suzuka. Oof, fast sector. He's pushing. But that fuel, 6, hard on the brakes there. Nearly locking up. Yeah, that fuel's making me nervous. And Turbo's got plenty. Timlor may have to start messing around with his fuel settings, which, as we know, every time you turn it down, you lose time. It's got about a 3-second gap back to Turbo. See if he can keep it. Cobra sitting pretty in 3rd. Bambi, it doesn't appear Bambi and Harry Mop are making up time. Bambi's tires are looking good. Harry Mop's tires are a bit older, being that he pitted so early when he had the damage. Whitey looking good on fuel and tires. Moby as well. Race fan looking good. How close is Penguin? Man, the length of the front straight. Penguin's got Gentleman Racing in pursuit. Got Fast One pitting. Oh, damage for Fast One. Yeah, we see now. We can see Desert Penguin pitted early. You can see he's got significant more tire wear than Gentleman Racing. So they're uneven, no, not really uneven terms. Tire wear is a factor here. So Gentleman Racing right on the bumper, but through this section he's not going to be able to make a move. So barring a mistake hitting the wall by Penguin, probably won't see Gentleman Racing get by. as I say it. Oh, almost the big one for Desert Penguin. You see Desert Penguin kind of opens up a little bit of a gap on the ooh. Gentleman Racing might have gotten on the throttle a little bit earlier there. It's tires, all about tires right now. And just, you know, for the viewer, race fan in 8th position is really in your Pro-Am class driver. He's your leader. Desert Penguin's in 2nd in the Pro-Am, and you can see the little decal on the cars. You can see by the windshield banner, the fact that it's black, that tells you it's a Pro-Am driver, and a little decal on the rear portion of the car that says Pro-Am. See it there. So essentially, excuse me for the little break there, but essentially Desert Penguin's vying for 2nd in the Pro-Am division, and Gentleman Racing is holding on to 3rd there. Four laps to go, 5 laps to go. In this 22 lap event. We're at the 40-minute mark. 41 minutes, so. Ooh. This isn't the only battle on the field, but thought we'd give the Pro-Am drivers some screen time, knowing that race fan is just gone. He's off doing his own thing. We thought this 2nd and 3rd place battle in Pro-Am would be a little bit of fun to watch. Let's stick with it for a little while. As you can see, Timlor and Turbo are still 1st and 2nd. Oh, Gentleman Racing makes a lunge, shows his nose to Desert Penguin, but thinks better of it. Desert Penguin defending. Oh, Gentleman Racing. And that is the widest Hyundai Genesis on the planet right now. And nothing wrong with it. He's driving really well. He's defending really well. Oh, but Gentleman Racing might have the might have a run on him here. Will he make it stick? Will he make a move? Will he stick and move? Nope. Desert Penguin in the middle of the road, taking up all the room. Leaves no opening. Yep. Gentleman Racing stays patient, true gentleman fashion. What a great battle. Oh, and Gentleman Racing gets on the throttle just that much earlier. Gentleman Racing draws alongside. Goes to make a move on the outside. Out breaks Penguin. Oh, magnificent move. Magnificent move. Beautiful. Only problem is I think Gentleman Racing may also have an issue with fuel. May have short filled it. You see his avatar. Check the mirror. He's gonna try and open up a gap now. Should be able to, given the condition of the tires, but fuel will be the question mark. Let's get back up with the leaders. Yeah, Timlor Turbo looks to have closed in the gap with 3 full laps still to go. They're both tight on fuel. Oh boy. So the story of today's race here at Mount Panorama is the fuel fill-ups during the pit stops. There may be more than one driver who miscalculated things. Oh boy. Hey, listen, that's one of the elements. You gotta get those pit stops right if you're gonna execute your plan. I can tell you this. Timlor's going for broke. Yeah, he may be short shifting a little bit. That would explain. Oof, Turbo's right back on him. I'm bored with Turbo now. Ooh, and Turbo's fuel light is on. He's short shifting. Oh, he didn't there. Yeah, fuel lights flashing. Both these cars. Timlor goes defensive, but Turbo's alongside already. Ooh, was alongside, just about. Ooh. What a great display of driving. All right, here we go, folks. Start of the final lap. Timlor stays outside, doesn't go defensive. Oh, it leaves room, still side by side. Oh, and there goes Turbo. Incredibly low on fuel. Timlor is incredibly low on fuel. Turbo defends. Amazing. I hate to tear away from this, but I believe there may be another battle going on between 6th and 7th. Yes, and Moby's gotten back ahead of Whitey. Whitey's got a lot of fuel. Overfilled, actually. He'd be way out in front had that not been the case. Yeah, we gotta wonder if Moby's gonna make it. Desert Penguin. Looks like he's caught up to Gentleman Racing. Gentleman Racing may be low on fuel. Let's go back up to the leaders. Turbo looks like he's going to win his second race in a row. Yeah, looks like he is. What a great drive. He's going to score 26 points if he finishes ahead. 25 for the win, and it's looking like 1 bonus point for fast lap. Oh, Timlor takes a move on the outside. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, thank God that didn't affect the race. There may have been some netcode issue there. In fact, there was post-race. There was some discussion about it, and that doesn't take anything away from Turbo. A magnificent drive. He's your winner. Second place. Timlor runs out of fuel just at the end. Holds on to second though. Cobra. Nice performance in his first appearance. Gets the final podium spot. Bambi, nice recovery for fourth. Harry Mop, equally nice recovery to get fifth. Whitey. It's like Whitey battles all race with Moby, and Whitey 6th, 7th for Moby. Race fan takes the win in the Pro-Am class, coming in 8th. Very nice, very nice. Got a few bumps and scratches on the car, but overall looking good. And Desert Penguin. Oh, and Fast One get by Gentleman Racing, who has run out of fuel. And there you have it. 2 drivers this race run out of fuel.